Hi, I'm Janet.
Hi, I'm Nani.
We're so excited that you've pressed play for the first week, whatever day it is, whatever time it is that you're doing this. Thank you. Let's get up right away, okay? I'm just gonna have you shake out your wrists, right? Especially if you've been typing and you're a typer, you're the type of person that's a lot of your job. Maybe start to roll out your ankles. So just lifting one foot up, rolling the ankle at a time. For today's slow flow class, you'll use blocks. They'll probably be optional, but we'll just keep them nearby. A blanket to pad your knees, and that's it. And now just open and close your arms and let your hips sway from side to side. So just open and close, feeling a stretch in the pectoral muscle. Let the hips move. So this slow flow class, we just wanted to get you guys started moving without any of the props that we have that are very exciting to use. But we thought for your first class, we would just kind of like ease you into it a little bit with some of the movements and postures that we do in yoga that are, I want to call them basic, fundamental, but also won't, just getting you used to that before we start to introduce you to some of the props, okay? So we're going to start on our hands and knees. So you're going to come down. You can use blocks. So Melody modifier, that's cool, just thought of that. Melody's the modifier, so she's going to be giving you ways to do the things that we're doing. We'll start with cat and cows, arching the back. So lifting the chest, belly drop, inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to round the spine, let the head drop, pull the navel into the chest. And this is what we're going to do. So you're just going to continue to inhale, lift up, open the front body, and on your exhale, you're going to round the spine, let the head drop, and pull the belly in. So just continue moving like that, inhaling and exhaling. Cat and cow is one of the most well-known movements we take in yoga. And fun fact, it's used in a lot of different disciplines. So you would see it in a number of different exercise disciplines that you could potentially take, but we're going to get started just mobilizing the spine here, inhaling and exhaling, keeping the elbows soft but strong, right? So one of the common things we see here is maybe people keep their elbows bent, so try to keep your elbows nice and strong while you're doing this. And the other thing is that keep your fingertips spread and maybe your knuckles are bent a little bit, just so that you're not putting a lot of weight on your wrist. If your wrists bother, you could always do what Melanie's doing with the blocks. And last one, inhaling, opening up, and exhale, rounding. So come to sit back. So sitting back on your feet, or you can sit up, right? So if for some reason it doesn't feel good to sit on your feet, the way I'm sitting on my feet, it doesn't feel good for your knees, you could always do that. So we're just going to open and close the hands, because a lot of the things that we do where our hands are on the ground, our front body is facing the ground, could be a little taxing on the wrist. So we'll always constantly kind of shake them out and loosen them up a little bit. So coming back up, down onto that all fours position, we're all just going to sink back into child's pose. So moving the hips back, letting the head relax down. Okay, child's pose. Keep your knees spread apart if you need to, right? If you want some extra room, just spread the knees apart, let the head relax down, and then super slowly start to come out of it by lifting the hips up and rounding the spine. The head stays soft until you start to unravel the spine, and then we'll take a modified plank here, right? So the arms are nice and strong. Your head and your tailbone are in nice alignment. Your spine is in nice alignment. This is a modified plank, okay? And then we'll just simply sink the hips back down into that child's pose. So we're working up to something that we call hip hinges, right? And so rolling back up, coming up into that modified plank position. You can stay here if your lower back has some issues you're working with, or you can start to lower the hips down and open the chest and lift the gaze up. So Melody's staying in that modified plank in case that's what you need to do. And then we're gonna reach the hips back up, sink the hips back down, and come back into our child's pose. So just roll through this a few times. So at your own pace, in a way that makes the most sense for you. Just starting to unravel the spine, open and lift, and then coming and sitting back into your child's pose. So again, these are called hip hinges. And I'm gonna free Melanie because I'm sure she wants to lower the hips and open the front body right now, because eventually that's something you might be able to work up to too. If right now it seems like it's outside of your reach, that doesn't mean it always will be, right? So just continuing to roll through hip hinges. These are a fan favorite, so of course we had to include them in this program. These are something so simple that you could do just in the middle of the day. Pretty much everything we give you is with the thought in mind that in the middle of the day, at any time, or if you're watching TV at night, you could do to mobilize your joints, to stretch out your spine, and to release stress. And the next time you come to sit back into your child's pose, you're gonna pause, walk your hands back up, and once again, opening, closing the arms, shaking out the wrists, maybe let the head fall from side to side. Another thing I like to do is to massage the forearms, so just massaging the wrists or forearms, just squeezing them after, we've been doing things on our hands and knees for a while, so just taking care of that. And then we're gonna come onto our bellies, okay? So coming onto your bellies, we're gonna extend the arms out in front of us, okay? Your head is going to be facing the earth, so let your gaze face the earth, but you're just hovering maybe an inch off of the ground with your nose. And so just let your hips rock from side to side for a second, just feeling your hips out and letting the lower body get loose, but then relaxing and stabilizing the lower body, so that all we do is when we inhale, we're gonna lift the upper body up, just the upper body, and then down. And we can sync this to our breath. So inhaling up and down, okay? And it's just the upper body. So right now, again, we're working more on opening up the front body, but also strengthening the back body. This is really good for our postures, especially we spend a lot of time sitting rounded. This is a great, great way to counter those types of movements to help re-elongate and re-strengthen those back muscles that'll keep us sitting up nice and proper, walking nice and upright for a long period of time. Hopefully all of our days, right? So just continuing, it's not about how high you lift up, okay? It's just about engaging those back muscles to help lift the upper body up. And one more time. And come down. Place one hand on top of the other, and then place your forehead on top of those hands. And just rock the hips from side to side. So just giving you a little break here, breathing in and out through your nose. If you feel like your heart rate's going a little bit, these prone positions that we're doing right now, supine positions we're doing, supine or prone? Prone. That we're doing right now, they could sometimes have that happen. So just letting your head relax, shaking everything out. And now we're gonna start, excuse me, with our lower body, okay? So you can put your hands back out. You're gonna keep your head hovering over the floor. You're just gonna lift the lower body. So you're gonna inhale, lift the lower body. Exhale, lower down. So while you're doing this, just thinking about the toes reaching towards the back of your mat. So we're getting nice and long in the front body, in the hip flexors, and then lowering down. So inhaling and exhaling. So lifting that lower body, exhale, lower down. And just continuing, just the lower body's going. Breathing in, lift up, exhale, lower down. And this is strengthening our lower back body, right? So we just did the upper back. Now we're focused on the glutes, the back of the legs. And it's all tied to the spine, right? Which is really in yoga, we're focused on movements originating from the spine. And last one, lifting up and down and bringing your hands alongside you, pushing yourself up and back, sinking into that child's pose, and you're just gonna take a few breaths here, right? So just breathe in and out through your nose. So yoga is really about just breathing, right? So if you did nothing else in these 30 minutes that we're together, you did nothing else but just breathe in and out through your nose. It doesn't matter what these shapes look like. It matters that you're letting your breath flow unobstructed for a period of time. And that helps calm the nervous system down. That moves us from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for our rest, digest, for helping us calm down, okay? Beautiful job. So we're gonna come up and you can take your blocks if you would like to for this next part. Okay, we're gonna come back into this quadruped tabletop position and just extend your left leg out and your left arm comes up, right? So left leg out, left arm up, and you're coming into what is known as our modified side plank, okay? So arm is straight up, the palm is facing towards the open side of your body, right arm is underneath of you, and the left leg is extended, okay? And we're gonna bring that back down, and we're gonna do it on the other side. So now the right leg extends, and the right arm goes up. Now what we didn't talk about on the first side was what this bottom leg does. And one of the things it can do to support you is what Melanie's doing right now, and that's putting the foot behind your knee as opposed to in line with your leg, okay? So we'll come back down and we'll open up again onto the left side. So we open up, the left arm's extended, the left leg's out, and if you want, that right foot is gonna be behind the right knee, okay? Coming back down, one more time we'll open up to that right side. Just getting the feel of the position before we flow in it, okay? So we're gonna come down, and now the next time we do this, we're linking the movement with our breath. So we'll inhale, lift, exhale, come down, all fours. Inhale, right side, right arm comes up, right leg goes out. Exhale, everything comes down. Inhale, lifting everything up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, extend and lift. Exhale, come down. And you can just continue to do this at your own pace. And if it doesn't link up with your breath in the beginning, that's okay, right? So linking the movement to the breath is something that is considered more intermediate than beginner. When I teach it, or when we teach it, we try to teach it with the breath linked just to get you in the habit of doing it, but it's an extra, right? So as long as you're just breathing in and out through the nose as you move, that's what's important, okay? And last one, we'll come down and we'll sit back, take that break, sitting up, opening and closing the arms, shaking out the wrists. And I know that in our introduction we talked about this, but it's worth repeating that you make this practice what it needs to be for you. You can take a break at any time, okay? So anytime throughout this, if you need a break, we're not giving it to you. Take it, okay? Coming back onto our all fours, we're gonna open up our left hand and left leg into that modified plank position. And we're just gonna have some fun with some things that you could do here, okay? So again, the right foot is supportive of the right knee. We're just gonna lift the back leg, okay? And so for you, this may be something you're working on and you're just gonna practice holding here, okay? Otherwise, you can rotate, excuse me, your ankle, okay? While it's in the air. And And then the other thing we could try is maybe lifting the left arm overhead and then bending the knee, bending the elbow and connecting. All right, they don't have to touch, but we're moving in that direction. Inhale, extend, keeping that left leg lifted if you can. Exhale, bend. And so continuing at your own pace. And so if you need to modify this or you want to modify this, you can put your leg down, okay? You don't have to lift your leg up. You could actually just do the arm, okay? Instead of lifting the leg, or maybe you lift the leg up and down, depending on what works for you, okay? One more time, wherever you're at, opening up and coming down. Whew, that's a lot for us too, right? So you can just open up to the right. We're actually gonna spin because we want you to see the front of us, not the back of us while we're doing this, okay? So we're gonna come onto our hands, knees backwards and open up. So now we're on the right side, okay? So we start on a right modified plank. And just like we did on the first side, if you want, you can try to lift up that right leg, rotate the ankle in one direction, then the other. And so yoga is supposed to be a release of stress. So the more that we can release a preoccupation with what it looks like and what I'm able to do and what I'm not able to do, the more we let it be that, right? Because it's not about that. It's about the breathing and just you taking the time to move, whether you think it's good or not, okay? So let's extend the arm and the leg. And again, you can lower the leg down if you want. And we'll inhale, exhale, bend the knee, bend the elbow. Good. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Good. Breathing in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhaling. I'll show you the modified version. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You can try lifting the leg. Inhaling. Exhale. And one more time. Inhaling. And exhale. Good job. So we all come down. I know you're feeling that. We're feeling that. Are you feeling that, Molly?
I am absolutely feeling that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Glistening a little.
Yeah, a little. So just shaking out the wrists, open and close the arms. Good job if you've come this far. Like, good for you. This, it's hard stepping into some new things and not being good, right? Like, I think the hardest thing about being a beginner is not being good. Nobody likes that feeling, right? So you just stick with it and keep going, keep moving. The benefits are in the breathing and the movements together. You're gonna get them whether you think you're doing it right or whether you think it's good or not. You're still gonna get the benefits. It doesn't matter. So come into child's pose. Okay. And all we're gonna do is just walk the hands over to the left. Okay, take a breath here. And then walk the hands over to the right. So we're opening up the side body. Take a breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. Walk over to the left. Inhale and exhale. And walk over to the right. Inhaling and exhale. Walk the hands back to center. You're gonna tuck the toes under and come into your first downward facing dog. Okay, so you can use blocks. Melanie's gonna show you how blocks can help bring the floor closer to you. And so for down dog, I'd like you to make this as comfortable as possible, right? So some of the common things that we see are maybe a lot of weight bearing in the upper body here like this, okay? So it's not a plank and it's not in between a plank. If you feel tight in your hamstrings, widen your feet, okay? Move the feet away from the hands and then sink the weight back into your heels, right? So pushing the ground away with your hands so that a lot of the weight is in the lower body. Okay, and that'll help you start to carve out a nice downward dog, because the idea is that you have room for your spine, right? Not that you're rounded, not that your legs are super straight. We want to keep soft knees, hips back, and breathe. And now you can come down to your knees, take a bit of a break. Ooh. Yep, shake out your wrists, let your hands, your head fall from side to side. We get like tight necks from sitting and staring at computers and whatnot all day. So letting the head fall from side to side can feel good. And then we'll come back into that downward facing dog. So coming down, hands and knees, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back. And so bending one knee at a time is a nice way to get the muscles loosening up, opening up the back body muscles. And again, continuing to breathe, right? So breathing in and out through your nose. Bending the knees a lot, moving the hips back, and then re-extending the legs is something that you could do during your down dog. So again, we're just playing with it here, using it as a tool to help open up some of the bigger muscles. You could come up onto your heels, right? So lifting the heels up, or your toes, sorry. Lifting up the heels, coming onto your toes. I like to roll the ankles. Let the head relax from side to side. And then we'll come back down to your knees. Sit back and up, and you can shake everything out. Open and close those arms. So yoga could be simple and still challenging, right? And like that's kind of the point, is rather than make it complex in postures, the simple postures can be challenging. We always say beginner doesn't mean easy. Beginner doesn't mean easy. It just means it's more simple. That doesn't mean you might not have work throughout it. So, but you didn't come here and show up on your mat so you could leave feeling the same way you came when you got here, right? So we want to help you get to that place that you're hopefully going to feel good and more room in your body. So last one, downward facing dog. It's coming up and back. And down dog can become a favorite pose, right? So even if it feels uncomfortable right now and you're thinking like, this could never be a resting pose for me, this could never be my go-to for like calmness, it could. You just don't know, right? You're just creating the room for it right now. But once you create the room, it can be something that you start to want to do, and you wonder why. You're like, I can't wait to do a down dog today. So kind of hope you get to that point too, if you aren't already. All right, so when you're ready, you can come back down. You can shake out your wrist, open and close the arms. And then let's come find a comfortable seat with our bolster. Okay, so you can take your bolster, and taking a comfortable seat could be cross-legged, right? So letting the left foot cross in front of the right leg. Easy seat pose, this is called in yoga. And once again, maybe open and close the arms. If you find this to be terribly uncomfortable, you can sit in a chair also, okay? We're gonna let the left hand touch the floor. Your right hand is gonna come up and over, grab the left side of your head, and then you're gonna gently encourage the right ear to go to the right shoulder. So just breathing here. You don't have to use the hand if you don't want to. If this is too much, you could always put the hand back down, the right hand down. Just breathe in and out through your nose. Breathing into the left side of your neck. down, the head comes up. We'll take the left hand, bring it to the right side of the head, and then encourage the left ear towards the left shoulder, breathing in and out through the nose. Inhaling and exhaling, relax the jaw. And then we'll release the left hand. Let's switch the cross of your legs. So let the right foot come in front and the left foot crosses. So placing your hands on your knees, sitting up nice and tall. Let's take a breath in. And as you exhale, chin to chest. So just let the chin drop to the chest. And so not your shoulders rounding. Keep the shoulders nice and lifted. It's just the chin, just the head. Stretching out the back of the neck as you breathe in and out through the nose. And the head comes back to center. And now you're just gonna lift your chin. You're not dropping your head back. With control, you're lifting your chin, almost like you're trying to watch the sky. Feeling a stretch in the front of the throat. Okay, so just breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. You can close your eyes if you want to. Inhale and exhale. Bringing your head back to center. You can just roll your shoulders out for a second. And so let's switch back, left leg crossing over the right. We're gonna lift the arms up. So inhale, sweep those arms up, and exhale as you fold over your legs. So this could be a small amount where you've just got your hands on the ground and you're feeling it. Or you may have more room that you walk your hands out, that you let your head relax. Right? So let this be what you need it to be today, not what you want it to be, but what it needs to be today. So just holding the pose, breathing in and out through your nose. And then slowly coming up, place your hands behind you. So you can lift the chest. You could just lift the chest, right? Just roll the shoulders up and back, okay? And lift the chin. Or you could start to push the hips forward. Go ahead, Melanie. You can push the hips forward. Stretch the whole front of the body. And then coming back down. All right, and we'll switch the cross of the legs, doing the same thing on the other side. Relaxing the arms down, we'll inhale them up, and exhale, fold over the legs, let the hands fall where they fall, let the head relax. You'll find that some poses are easier than others, some movements come easier to you than others, and that's completely normal. You'll find that some sides are tighter, stronger, more stable, more open than other sides, and that's completely normal too. So yoga is about finding balance and creating balance. So the more you spend time in your body learning what those things are, the more you can set the intention of getting some equanimity. And just feeling better. You can come up, placing the hands behind you, same thing, rolling the shoulders up up and back, and you can lift those hips. Breathing in and out through your nose. And then coming back up to center. Place one hand on top of your heart, the other hand on top of it. We'll exhale through the nose. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. 2 more times. Inhaling. Exhale. And 1 more time. Inhaling. And exhale. Congratulations on your first one. Good job. Repeat it if you want this week. You guys have access to it, and next week we'll be dropping the next one. Thanks for spending time with us.